Hello everyone and welcome to our training today. We have some really cool stuff to go over. Sorry we're a little bit late. Andy and I were just coordinating a couple of things so we can make sure we do this properly. But before we get started, let's just check real quick. Can you guys hear us okay? And as of now, you should be able to see my screen. You should be able to see the dashboard to Local Oxygen.
Just popped up here, so
okay.
Yeah, looking good. And yes, David, whilst in San Francisco. Oh, very nice, sunny blue weather. Perfect. So what's happening up there? While you're on a doing a convention, or like a some business stuff and that, or holidays.
Oh, it's beautiful in San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. So let's go ahead and get started here. So basically, just as a recap, last time we went over the basics on how to add a new client, on how to use the intake form, how to send it out to a new client and get your information back and start your just day-to-day work using the checklist, right? So remember, you watch the video, you do what the video says, and then mark it as done. Remember that? So what we wanted to do today is we wanted to continue a little bit with what we do next. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a scenario of, okay, you've been doing work for about a month. Now it's time to have your monthly meeting with your client, right? And this can be a very nerve-wracking time, especially if you, and this is one of your first projects or you haven't done a lot of these. It's always a little nerve-wracking to understand, like, how do I put this together? Like, what do I show them? What's important to stress? How do I go through the report? How do I talk about it? Things like that. So that's what we're going to do today, so that you can go in with confidence, knowing, well, first of all, what's going to be on it. Second of all, how to talk about it. So we're also going to take it one step further, and we're going to show you how to put custom content into your reports that are not necessarily on your checklist. And we're going to use a pay-per-click campaign as an example on how to put together a nice little section in there for your paid search. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here. Now, let's just pretend like we've been doing some work. Let's go to the checklist real quick, and we'll kind of see what's going on here. This is just like kind of a play project that we use to do this type of training. So let's go ahead and kind of see where we are. Let's see if we have at least 1 month's worth of work done. So we have week number 1. We've got most everything done. Let's go over to week number 2, and let's see here. We don't have a lot of stuff in here. You know what I might do is I might just use a client that we've been using in the past. Let me see if there's a good one here. How about this one? He won't care. So this is an exterminator that we've done here. And so basically, let's see here. This is an old list right here, but this will suffice. So basically, what we would do is, like, we would say, okay, do we have the first couple of weeks of stuff that's done? And if so, then great. It's time to go and show the customer the things that we've done. So what we want to do is we want to go down to report and reports. Okay, now what you're going to see here is that we have a whole lot of stuff in here that we have kind of built brand new. You can see Phil's been with us a while. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to preview his latest report. I don't even know what it's going to look like because we moved on to other stuff. We've kind of built all the foundation for him. But basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go over what is in a report and how to talk about it first. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over how to customize the report to make it your own, okay? So that being said, this is what the new reports look like. And the cool thing about it, here, let me turn off all my notifications here so they don't bother us. So basically, it consists of a few different things. One of them is up here on the top right, or top left. You can see local marketing experts. And so that's a logo that we put up there for, our brand. And then you can see it's kind of a generic, it just says local marketing experts, right? And then a lot of the time we put the customer's logo up here. They like to see their own stuff, right? So it kind of brands it to them. So there's a nice big area where you can put their logo up here. Then over here you can see that we have a summary, we have social media accounts, citation, custom content, and local marketing. So all these things here are available. Now you're going to see one extra one down here called reputation marketing that we can automatically bring in their reputation marketing reviews. So let me show you how this works from the top down. So the first thing that you see right here is this report summary. And that's what shows at the very beginning of all the reports. Now this report summary can be completely customized to anything that you want to see right here. I mean, that you want to, start off with. This is kind of like what everybody gets is what is said right here. But I'll show you in just a minute how you can change this template so that you can change this report summary to anything you want. You can make it in your own voice and what you're emphasizing. Now, also, you can see right here that we have this click for a ranking report icon right here. And this only shows up if you come over here and under reports, you sign up for a ranking report. So this is how we show the ranking reports right here. Okay? So basically, if you have a ranking report that's connected with this account, this will automatically show up. You don't have to do anything. Now, if you have your own ranking reports, then as you customize this report summary, you're probably going to want to put a link to the report here, or you can include this in your custom content area so that you can show these reports. Depends on how you, what kind of format you get it in. So that being said, let's go ahead and click on this real quick. And we can see that for his reports here, you can see there's all the ranking reports and stuff like that. So everybody can jump in here anytime that they want and see the rankings and be able to see the changes over time. Okay. All right. Now that being said, the next thing is the social media accounts. So when you click on this, it'll just kind of drop down to the social media accounts. It's the same thing here, and you'll see when you click on the left side that there are two different sections to the social media accounts. You have the social media accounts right here, and you also have suggestions as a second part right here. Now the suggestions are empty right now, but they were filled up with some stuff from previous months, and so we put it in there. So let's go back here to the social media. Now, in this area right here, this is where the social media accounts that you've signed up for are housed and they're located. Now, all of these are pretty cool because we can go to any one of these right here and we can click on it, and we can see his local listing in here. So like, for instance, let's go to yahoo.com. Well, that one's not there, is it? Let's go to Local Be Free or whatever. Where is it? Oh, let's go to LiveJournal. Okay, so we can see Legacy Pest Control right here. We can see his listing, his business listing right here. So this is just one of them that we've signed up for him. And so these, you can just kind of go through. The ones that have circles right here are ones that we've submitted, but they weren't approved for some reason. And so they have not been completed. All right, now the citation sites right here are the same thing as the social media accounts, except for these are just business listings right here. So you can see that our goal was to hit 57 directories. And as you scroll down here, you can see that all these directories are in here. And again, you can click on any of these. Let's just click on the first one and see if it's still up here. So I don't know what that is. Handland Pro. See any of these here. So here's Legacy Pest Control. So you can see his business listings are on all these. It's been like 2 years since we've looked at this. I apologize. So anyway, so here's all the citation sites right here. And so you can go down here and you can click on a few of those. I recommend, like, before you go and show the report, that you click on these links and you pick out the ones that you want to show them first. So you put your best foot forward. So just spend a couple of minutes, click on some links, find out the ones you like, and only click on those, okay? All links are not created equal. Okay, so then you go through all these and you talk about the importance of putting their business listings out there. And we always tell a story about the Yellow Pages. And we say, you know, back in the day, everybody would go to Yellow Pages for services for, you know, what they're looking for, right? But since the Yellow Pages have gone away, it's exploded and everybody goes to different places on the internet to find what they're looking for. It could be to find local, it could be Bing, it could be BizTap, it could be City Search, it could be Facebook. There's lots of places that people go. Kazoo, Judy's Book, Insider Pages, all these are valuable places for people to go look for pest control services. So that being said, we have to go where the people are instead of them coming to us, right? All right, so Paul just asked a good question. He says, if we have our own ranking report, can we store it within Local Oxygen rather than in the custom content? What do you mean within Local Oxygen rather than custom content? Well, let me ask you that, then we'll get back to you. Okay, so that being said, you can tell the story about how you need to be where the customer is, and that's one reason why we do this. Another reason is because when Google sees all of these, they're links basically back to your website in your Google Plus page. So you'll get credit for that, and that'll help you rank. Okay, so that's why we do social media sites and citations. Now the custom content, usually this is in reverse order. Usually the local marketing is up next, but let's just go to custom content here. So you can see here under the custom content that there is social media for October right here. And so basically all of these right here are basically all of the different posts for social media that we did for the company. And it has all the different items in here. And so this is one item that you can put in the custom content area. Okay, let's go to the local marketing. And so basically under here we can see that here's the keywords that we're targeting right here. And so we can say, that we're looking for pest control Mesa, and this is good so that they can know what your focus is and make sure that they're on board with it. So if there's anything that's wrong here, that they can quickly point out and say, well, I don't want to do that keyword because we don't do that service anymore. For instance, we don't do bee removal. We do, I don't know, termites now. We don't do bees because there's not many bees or it's out of season or whatever. So we can change that to termites and have a different focus. All right, so Brad was saying, I'm using the directory service and I put the report in here. What do you charge? So there's really no charge, but I'll show you how you put it in here in just a second. So let me get through the report here and I'll show you how to tweak these reports so you can put whatever you want in here, okay? All right, so here is the next piece right here, which is the local competition and Google Places research. So this is the research we did for him to show him what's going on. Here's Yelp. Here's the different categories. Here's the pictures that we use to market him. And so this is all really fun stuff that we use to market his stuff all over. We put it all over the web. We put it in his press releases. Here's bed bugs, and here's some you can just kind of scroll through it this way too, so you can see all of these things that we've used in articles and in press releases and all kinds of fun stuff. And so these are all the images that we use for that. And then there's just tons of stuff in here about, what's your website, what's the name of your company, what's your email. Here's the website links that we link to. It goes on and on and on, just all the details about how we do our marketing. Here's the videos that we created for them and where they are on YouTube. And if you click on this, you can just watch it. These are just YouTube embeds, so that's pretty cool. So they can just watch it right here. All right, and so you can see all these right here. They turned out real nice. So we put these videos in their press releases and stuff as well. Here's his Panoramio images. So you can see we use the images from above, and we get one-way links back from Panoramio to his website. And if you guys don't know, Panoramio is owned by Google, and so it's basically getting a one-way link from Google back to their website. So it's pretty powerful. So here's all the images and stuff that we did on Panoramio. Then here's a bunch of other local directories and stuff like that we did in here. It goes on and on. I'm not going to go through all this stuff, right? So you can talk about all these different things that we do, all the directories and why it's important, and encourage them they can come in and look through this. Here's a lot of things that we've done over the years for ranking them. And then at the very end right here, we have this reputation marketing. And this reputation marketing comes in directly from this area right here, which is manage reputation marketing. So once you manage you have the reputation, all set up and working in here, then basically what you can do is you can come over here and it will automatically pull in, let me see here, it'll automatically pull in the basics for the reputation marketing as far as like what are the latest testimonials and reviews. And of course, they're all going to be 4 and 5 stars because that's all that we let through the reputation marketing process, which is only 4 and 5 star reviews. So they're going to see how awesome they are every single month. And the latest ones will be on top. And so basically that is how we go through the process. Now, let's start like right back here and talk about Brad's question, which is, okay, I have my own ranking reports. I don't want to use these, which is fine. Let's see here. David was saying it seems that Panoramio only wants outside images now. Well, I don't know what you mean about now, but that's all that they want, period. That's all they ever wanted is outside images. So make sure that when you put images up there, you can get away with maybe one or two or something that are like inside or that are not outside. But yeah, make sure that they're all outside pictures. If basically you can just have your customer walk outside of their office, take a picture from the sidewalk or the road or whatever, and that works. So make sure that they are out there. Otherwise, Google will remove them at some point in time. Let's see here, and then it's kind of a cat and mouse game. Then we'll put it up again and try to get those going. All right, so let's see here. So basically, let's go ahead and customize this report summary right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to jump into a different account here real quick. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to jump into an account that we can just destroy and it won't matter. Okay, we're going to go to this account right here. This is Advanced Water Filters. It's my company, so we can do anything we want here. All right, so we're going to go back into the reports here, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up a custom template for them. Okay. So take a second, just get back to the reporting area, and then at the very top of the reporting area, the way that it's set up is that the first step right here is to create a report template, which is what is in the report. Like what kind of pieces and parts do you want to be included in the report? The second one is what do you want the report to look like? Do you want it to be red? Do you want it to be blue? What is their logo that we're going to show, or we're going to put our logo in the top? And then the third part is when do we want to show it to them? So we schedule it to say, okay, let's show it to them every week or every month or whatever you want to do. And then here's the results of those three pieces as we go on. Okay. All right. So what we want to do here, you can see we do a lot of testing in here. We're going to create another one in here. I'm just going to create a brand new template. We'll start from scratch. So we're going to call this one today's test template. And I'm just going to put the same thing in the description. Now once you continue, what it's going to do is it's going to bring you into this new area here where we have three different options in here. And if you want to, you can change the name of the template just by clicking this pencil icon right here. But basically what we want to do, here's the report order. So there's basically nothing in here right now. So we need to click on one of these over here on the left side to add something to our report. Okay? So we're going to choose the summary page right here. So let's start with the summary page. So here is where we can put basically, let me see. I closed out of that report, but basically that is, this is the area that's in the summary area. Remember how I said, you can customize it, and then down here was the image that goes to the ranking report? Well, basically right here what you can do is you can come down here and say, for instance, you have your own ranking report. You can say, so you can say, here's a link to your latest ranking report. So what you can do is you can come up here, and you see this little like arrow right here. This is a link arrow right here. So you can say, here's the, so here's the place to put your report in here, and so you insert your link. And you can even make it bold if you want to, and do different things like that. But basically, this is how you put in a link to the ranking report, wherever it happens to be, into your summary. And so when you save these changes right here, what it'll do is it'll save all of this right here, so that anytime that the report is shown, this link right here will be waiting for them so that they can see their monthly report. So Brad, does that help you as far as like seeing like where putting in like where you can put your reports in here, things like that? Now, if it's a PDF file, that's a good question. If it's a PDF file, then what you're going to want to do is store the PDF file, like, I don't know, on Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever, and then of course just put the link to your PDF file right here in your link. So you can always put it there. All right, so this is how you customize it. Now let's go down here, and here's some items in here that you can add. You might want to add the ability for them to see the citation sites, social media accounts right here. Maybe you want to put in the social marketing down here. Maybe reputation management. You have all these different categories you can put things in down here. Video marketing, SEO. There's a lot of goofy stuff in here too, because like totally knew we were goofing around with it. But you can add your own categories right here, and those are basically just placeholders for you to put information in. And then of course your custom content one is kind of a pre-built one, and if you click on that, you can see at the very bottom here, that's where we'll have the custom content. All right, now it's say for instance you want to kind of customize this, and you're like, well, I like the items that are in here, but I don't necessarily like the order that they're in. So for instance, we can see that we have the summary, the citation, social marketing, and custom content. So you can say, maybe I want the citations after all the social marketing stuff. So basically you can just grab it and just move it down. Simple as that. All right, there's no save button, you just do it and it's done, okay? So this is how we set up what is in the report. So we're going to show the summary and all this content right here. And of course, you're probably going to want local marketing in here somewhere. So let's put local marketing in here. And let's move it up to where it should be, which is right here. All right, now that's being said, you have everything in here that you want. Let's go back to the reports. The next thing you want to do is you want to brand it, which means you're going to make it look like you want to add the colors to it, and you want to add your logo to it. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to save this image to my downloads folder, just so I can show you what it looks like when we upload it. Okay, so what we're going to want to do here is you can see all the brands that we've used in here right here. So these are all of them that are ready to go. But I'm going to create a new one right here so I can show you what it looks like from scratch. So we're going to do today's brand. Just give it that name. That's only we're going to see that. So the next thing you want to do is upload a logo. And so we're going to use the same one that we used before. And we never worry about the line 1 and line 2 because we take care of these two items inside of the summary. So we usually don't do that. The only thing we do here is we choose the top bar color and the top bar text color. So those are the last two things, and then we'll save the template. So right here, let's make sure that we get it. Let's see, what color do we want? Let's make it like green, I guess. And green is good with a white text. So basically this will show you this is white text on green. For instance, if you wanted something really light, say something that would look like, say this, then you're going to want to have dark text underneath, and so you're going to want to have something that looks like this. Okay, so that it's dark on light. But for today, we're going to do like, say, kind of a dark green. So let's bring it down, make it darker, and then we'll make this white. Whoops. I'm just going to type it in. Okay. All right, so when we get this done here, then we can save this template. And we'll see that the template is now called, let's show all of these right here. Long page, let me go up here just a little bit. You can see, let's see here, today's brand right here. So you can see what we just created. Now, when it's time to create the actual report, you can create a report name. You can choose which brand right here. You can choose today's brand. You can choose today's test template, and then you can schedule the report. Okay? And then you can update these if you need to. So it's simple as that to kind of put it together. Now, say for instance you have custom content. For instance, you're running a pay-per-click campaign. So in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see some new stuff come in here so that you can connect this to your Google Analytics. So you can bring in some of that information. But pay-per-click is kind of a different story because you have different charts and graphs and things that are different to each pay-per-click campaign. So let's do an example here. Let's say, for instance, we want to go in here and we want to add some paid search information. So I'm going to go into my template right here so I can put a special thing in here. Because with my paid search, I like to have something that is called, let's see, it's something that's in here that makes sense. I don't really see anything in here. Let's create one real quick. Let's create one that's called paid search. Okay, and this could be RTB, it could be retargeting, it could be Facebook, it could be pay-per-click, it could be anything, but we're just calling it paid search to keep it generic, right? So now what I can do here is we can go down here and find wherever paid search went to. And where did it go? Right here. And so we're going to add this content in here. And you can update this if you want to. We're not going to do that right now. And I want to put the paid search just before custom content. All right. Now that we have a place to put it, now we got to put something in it. Because right now it's going to, if you notice right here, there's a couple of different settings in here. I think this is important to go over. You see this little eyeball right here? Every one of these is set to be hidden if there's no contents. For instance, if we put this in here and didn't put anything in the paid search bucket, it's just not going to show up. So you're not going to have like an empty container there with nothing in it. So this kind of protects you from having empty containers out there. And then of course you can remove this if you want to. So right now if we look at the report, it's not going to have a paid search thing in here. So let's go ahead and go back to the reports, and let's go ahead and, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you show you how to put it in, and I'm going to show you a real report that we ran just today. Okay, so basically what we can do here is we can go under two different areas. Either you can go into report, and you can choose this custom report content to put report content in there, or you can come up here to the support, and the first item right here is add custom content to monthly reports. So both of them will take you to the same place. So you can see we put a whole bunch of stuff in here, including where's Waldo. And so we're just kind of goofing around and just doing some training like we're doing now. And so basically under all this custom report content, let's just go in here and edit this one right here. And so you can put in text. You can put in an image. So I'll show you what it looks like when we put an image in. We'll just use our same internet marketing here. So what it'll do is it'll store it on Amazon. And so basically on Amazon it stores this picture for you. And so it's universally accessible. And it'll put it in your report to look just like this. Now another thing you can do too is you can put in content for or from an Excel spreadsheet. So let me show you what this looks like. So here is, we'll just put in some keywords here. So for instance, if this is like say a pay-per-click campaign, maybe we want to show the keywords that we're targeting. So we can put in the campaign, the ad group, some labels here, and the keyword right here. And so basically from here you can right click on it and you can say, I want to choose the table properties and I want to make this 100% width. Right here. And I want the border to be a 2-point border all the way around. And I want, like, say, maybe 5 points of cell spacing. So now we can see what this looks like. Okay, so now it kind of spreads it out a little bit. It's easier to read. And what we can do is we can say, hey, this up here, this is a header. So we can come up here and we can say, this is a header under the cell type. And when we do that, we can see it makes it much bigger. And we can even change the text color to, say, maroon to make it stand out a little bit more, right? We'll make this one maroon as well. All right, so now we're kind of done here as far as like all the content that we want to put in here. And this image, you can kind of imagine. In fact, let's just do this real quick because this is kind of dumb. Let's put in something that would really make sense. So let's type in a pay-per-click graph. Now we're just going to find one on the web right here. Say for instance, this is their PPC graph right here. I'm going to save this image. And let's put something in here that is legit here. Okay, we're going to put in a PPC graph. Thanks, Corey. Let's see here. Okay, now we have something that looks legitimate right here. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say, I want to put this in my paid search search area. So let's go down here and look for the paid search and choose that category. So this is the area that we're going to put it in. And we're going to say it's 2016, and it is, it happened in March. So this is March's work. So basically this is going to show up in April's reports. So it'll tell you right here, please note that this custom content will appear in the report of the next month. For instance, if you select April, then the custom content will appear in May. And the reason why we do it is because the work is done in March, and we want to show that in April after all the work is done in March, right? So it sort of makes sense, but this kind of clarifies it right here. So we're going to update this right here. We can say, hey, it's the last day of March today, and tomorrow we're going to rip out this report, and we want to show that to them, okay? So this is what it's going to look like. So we can come over here. We can see what that looks like. So let's take a look at this, what it's going to look like. So this is exactly what it's going to look like in the report. Isn't that kind of nice? Not too bad, huh? Now let me show you what it really looks like. Give me 1 second. I'm going to jump over and open up a one that we just did today for a client so you can see what it looks like in real life. Is there any questions in the meantime about custom content or what you can put in the reports or things like that?
Actually, one question there, Chris, from Mike is shouldn't you report your customers' bad reviews to them? So I thought that was from a little while ago. Mm-hmm. That we only show 4 and 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, we only show the 4 and 5 stars in the report, but on a day-to-day basis, they get emails for every 3-star or below report or testimonial that comes in. So they see those on a real-time basis. So during the month, they will have seen all of those. And during your monthly review that you're going through, it's a good time to talk about those and ask them how they're handling those types of negative feedback that they get. So it's important to be able to help them with through that process. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. So here is the report for the customer, and I'm going to show you what it looks like with the custom content put in there, so you can kind of see realistically, what a real report looks like. Okay, so this company, let's go down to, let's see here. Did I do the wrong month? Hold on a second. Oh, I did do the wrong month. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and go down here to where the AdWords details PPC. So this is what we called it here. Now look at this right here. So we can see that this is just an image. You see this right here? It's just an image that we included in there, just like very much like what we did. Then right below it is another image, and this comes directly from basically a dashboard that we use to kind of like parse out the pay-per-click information. We can show, look, your cost per click is only 63 cents. Your impressions and your clicks are going up, all that kind of stuff. So it's important to talk about that. Here's all the text ads that we put in there from Excel spreadsheet, and here's your keywords. So we can go through all these keywords, and it's super helpful to be able to do something like that. So we can go through all the different types of keywords that we're using to make sure that we're matching what their products are and what they want to focus on. So these are really good ways to do that. And you can see that it was literally just a copy and paste in here, and it looks spectacular. You see how beautiful that is? And it literally takes just like 2 or 3 minutes to get it in there. All right, so is there any questions about the reporting process? Does this kind of demystify it a little bit? All right, so can we insert a PDF into the custom content? A link really won't show the PDF report. So basically, no, you can't. It's just a function of how browsers work. So even though you can click on a PDF and bring it into the browser, so it'll kind of display it here. That's something that's fairly new over the last couple of years. It'll take up your whole screen, so you can't have like a PDF embedded in here and make it as part of your report. It's either you're looking at the PDF or you're looking at the report. So there's really no way to combine the two. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have a link in, like for instance, at the very top here. We have this one right here, but you would have the link that would be in here for the PDF. And it could be the report. It could be anything that's a PDF. It could be like a social media report that's in PDF format. It could be anything like that. But just make sure that there's a link in there, and that you, above the link, it basically says, please click below for your social media report. And then don't just put like a little link that's this big. Make sure it's like 36-point font, and it's bold, so that it's like big and bold, and they know that it's requiring them to do something. So that's the best way that we found to include PDF documents inside of the reporting process. Now, another thing that I might point out right up here is that you notice that the colors that we chose for remember the green that we chose to brand it? So on this one, if it were green, these would all be green, and this would all be green down here. We went over that last week and showed you. Remember that? So it brands it really nice. All the headers are green, everything like that. So it makes it really nice to be able to show them that way. All right. I think that's enough for the reporting for right now. Is there any other questions that we have real quick before we move on to our next topic? Okay.
I think you must have done a great job there, Chris, because there's no questions at the moment. I think everyone's...
I think I did do a good job. I think I let everybody take a nap.
Awesome. That was the best one I've ever seen of the reports. It was fantastic.
Thanks, Andy.
No, it was good. I mean, they are stellar. They are absolutely stellar now. And that's the one thing that I'd just probably say too is I'd be interested to know how much time people spend on this side of it, that reporting, that really detailing exactly what they're doing, and just, you know, giving the clients that real value, like at the end of the month sort of thing like that, because this is what we spend a fair bit of time on. So the clients are just, you know, they're over the moon with everything we're doing, and they know about it. There's nothing that we do that they don't know about, in a sense, you know. We don't leave anything to chance or take it for granted. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point. All right, now, just as a quick heads up, you see how issue number 17 is here? Tomorrow happens to be April 1st. And no joke, we're going to put up a new one tomorrow. So look for issue number 18 tomorrow, because it'll be all new content, some good stuff there.
Of course, I've got access to it, because it's April 1st here, you see.
All right.
So it goes up in my group.
Andy lives in the future, by the way. Do you guys need some stock quotes?
Yeah,
Andy,
that's right.
He lives in the future.
Yeah, lotto numbers, that's it.
That's right.
That's the funny thing. That's the first thing everyone asks me. It's like, man, can you give me the lotto numbers for tomorrow? You know, funny, isn't it? So,
all right.
Hey, has everyone? That's what I'd be interested too. Has everyone downloaded and sort of gone through and had a look through the magazine? Just interested in feedback and all that sort of thing as well. And
yeah.
Have you thought about using it? Because remember we spoke about it last week. I just thought while we're on the topic that I know it's got Local Oxygen magazine on the front there, but hey, if you're doing done-for-you services using any of our stuff like that for your services, then you are absolutely welcome, and quite legitimately you can take it and say, you know, as part of like my company, you saying that to the client, you know, or prospect, part of my company, this is my fulfillment company. You know, I've got my sales, you know, side of the company, and then I've got my fulfillment company, which is, you know, totally legit. You can absolutely say that, and no one's client-wise, they're not going to know any different. That's not the case, and it gives you a great promotional tool as well. So I'd encourage to go and use that in that scenario.
All right, yeah, it's good, definitely. You got it, flaunt it, right? Mike was saying, I like the magazine. I think this is something we could use as like a tech help newsletter. Absolutely. I think it's interesting. I mean, send it out to your prospects and things like that. All right, very good. So that being said, let's see here. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to go over, like things that you're either working on right now or anything that you're especially interested in? Like, for instance, let's look through a couple of things. So under Manage, we have the All Accounts. Where's the All Accounts area? Right here. We have all accounts. We have power listings that might be interesting to talk about. Does anybody want to talk about either of these? We can talk about reputation marketing. We can talk about the landing page creator right here, or communications. We can also talk about anything in here under the, say, the settings area. Like if you want to learn how to manage the white label, the projects or users or subscriptions or anything like that. Anything that's interesting to you guys? We can close up early today too. All right. So let's look under here. All right. So Michael's saying he'd like to hear a little bit more about reputation, communication. Let's see, what do you guys charge for the directory service? You mean as far as like the magazine? Is that what you mean? That directory service, or?
No, I think the citations.
The citations?
I'm thinking.
Oh. Yeah, we don't do citations all by themselves. There's other companies out there that do that, but we include those citations because we do them all by hand. We do them as part of our BOSS and our local BOSS programs. Let's see here. The power listings, are they by industry? All right. So let's talk about the power listings and reputation and communications. How about that? Okay. David was asking, can you recommend a good citation building company? And no, we're not going to do that. And the reason why is because if we recommend somebody and they screw up, then you're going to blame us. So we've had people come back after they had not so good of an experience with somebody who was really a good company, but then they were mad at us. So I'm not going to refer anybody anymore. So okay, so that being said, let's jump over to this thing real quick first. Let's go over to manage and then power listings. So if you guys don't know what power listings are, this is something you really, really need to know about. And if you want to learn more, click on this question mark right here, because we tell you, we basically open the black box and tell you exactly what they are and how to get it yourself if you want to double check what we're doing. So basically what it is say for instance, this is back when there used to be more than 3 in the local listings. But basically what we do is we take the top 10 listings up here and we find out which of the local listings, whether they're links or they're business listings, whatever they happen to be, what are the most important ones that allow these guys to rank and the ones that are below it not to. And what we do is we put them in a big list and we give them to you, and then you have to sign up for them by hand because some of them are like news stations and things like that you may or may not be able to get on. But basically, when you break it down, here's the key. And this is one of the biggest advantages that you can get in this process. And I'm not kidding you. I'm going to show you some results here in a second that we got in 1 month, okay? So I'm not kidding when I say that this is going to give you an advantage, so you really need to pay close attention to this. So basically what's happening right here is at the end of the day, you're going to have a list of about 100 different citations that are out there that are local citations, some national, mostly local, and that are going to give you the edge. Now, maybe 10 of the listings came from this guy, maybe 5 came from this guy, maybe 12 or 15 came from this one, 2 or 3, 17, whatever. It's mixed up, right? At the end of the day, if you have most of those citations, then it puts you an advantage because these guys only have a subset of what you have, okay? And so basically, at that point, you have more of the best citations than any of these people individually have. And so it puts you an advantage because all of a sudden you have more credibility. It'll take Google a while to get caught up with it, a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. But basically, this process will give you those citations, all right? And if you want to get into the whole nerdy, intellectual part of it as far as like how it's done, we actually tell you exactly what to put in Google. Like here is the Google search to do this. Here's another Google search to find some down here. So we tell you everything all the way through exactly how to do it if you want to do it by hand. Or you can come back to the Power Listings page right here and you get 3 free ones. This one says 95 free ones here because this is a test account. But basically you can get 3 free ones a month. And you only need to run it once per client. So that means you can cover 3 clients every single month. And so basically you can come in here and you can run this. I'm not going to do it now because it's a test project. But basically it'll go out there and it'll give you the whole list of power listings. And they're basically just local citations that you need to have your company on. Then you go out and you add them. Okay? All right, so that is the power listings right there. So pay close attention to this. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you something here real quick. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to show you a report of the listings that we got. We've been doing marketing for this company for 2 months. So everything that you see here in green is what we hit this month after doing, or this last month. This is March's report. So you can see that everything that's not green didn't even exist. The ones that are green are brand new. That's how these reports work, right? So between last month and this month, we've gotten these reports. Look, we're number 1 on Yahoo, Bing, all the way across the board for this keyword. We sort of dominate in 2 months. Now, this doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 months. But look at every one of their keywords is ranking now in 2 months. So when I'm telling you pay attention, pay attention. This stuff it's not just frivolous stuff. We've spent a load of money investing in this. We've done thousands of tests on it to make sure that it works. And if you follow the plan, you will rank just like that. We didn't do anything different there than what's in our checklist. You follow the checklist, and you'll get results just like that, okay? All right, so, and if you do our done-for-you services, you can still get those results, and we'll do the work for you. All right, now, that being said, let's go over here and go over the reputation marketing. Now, right here, you can log into your reputation marketing account right here. You're going to need to get it connected because, in fact, click here on this little link up here. It'll tell you all of the different things here for reputation marketing. It looks like we have a problem with the CSS here. So let's go over here to Reputation Loop, and we will. All right, let's go over here. This is the reputation program that we connect with. And if you guys don't know about Reputation Loop, it's pretty good. It's very little effort to do a ton of good stuff. Now, there's other types of reputation marketing that you can do that is also extremely well put together and done. It takes a lot more time to do it, so it just depends on how much effort you want to do. But this is sort of one of our bomb diggities right here, where it takes us 5 minutes a month to make this work, and you can charge $100 a month in profit to make all this stuff work, right? So so this is really good stuff right here. You can read all about it. Here's the features, here's the pricing, everything. But the bottom line is that what it does, its job is to go through and get all of the emails from the client that they got that month, and on all those emails, they're sent out a request to give them a 4 or 5 star review. Now you'll notice that I said that we asked them for a 4 or 5 star review. Now some of them choose to give a 3 star or below if they had a bad experience, which is fine. But what happens is if they leave a 3, 2, or 1 star review, then what it does is it sends them to a special video that says, wow, we're sorry we didn't exceed your expectations. We would love to have you contact us, or we'll try to contact you to see if we can make this right, because we really care about our customers just like you, and we want to make sure that you have the greatest experience every single time you come in, or whatever it happens to be. And so it's all professionally recorded. It's really nice. And the lady who has recorded it, she sounds very genuine. It's very good. Now, if it's a 4 or 5 star review, it says, wow, thanks for your review. That's so great. We're glad you had such a good experience, and we strive our best to do, to make your experience, as good as possible, whatever it happens to say. Again, it's very professional. And then at the end of the day, the ones that have a 4 and 5 star review, we ask them to take one more step and put it on Yelp or Google Plus, or a number of other places wherever the customer chooses to want to be. And so they'll go and they'll paste it on Yelp, and now they have a Yelp review. Or they'll put it on Google Plus, and they'll have a Google Plus review, that kind of thing. All right. So that being said, let me see here. Give me 1 second. I lost all the questions here. I got to go find them. So that allows you to kind of keep track of all the reviews, and they show up in the reports, and they show up all over the internet and stuff like that. So there are, Ma, there's a whole lot of great reputation type products out there, and feel free to use anything you want. But this is the one we integrated with. We work closely with them, so we can kind of go back and forth. And you can put in your reputation project just by clicking a button. It'll go and fill out all the stuff inside for you. And if you have your own account on Reputation Loop, you can get it connected, and then you can just connect it to existing accounts that are already there. So either way, it works out pretty well. So that is reputation. Let's do one more thing on communications, and then we're going to finish for the day because this will be kind of a short topic. All right, now communications are key to doing any project properly. So there's going to be points in time when you're working on a project and you need to ask your customer a question. And the easiest way to do it is, like, so we're under Bob's test project. The easiest way to do is come over here and click on send an email, or if you want even a quicker response, you can send a text message. So we come over here and we can say, hey, I want to send this text message from, this is you, and I want to send it to, let's see here, I want to send it to Bob, the customer. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, hey, can you give me password for your website? Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that test, or that right there. So basically that just sent out a quick text message to the customer, and it looks like, let me show you. All right, so it came through, and it's me sending it to myself right here. See, there's other stuff on here. But you can see, hey, can you give me your password to your website? And then it says, click here to reply to this message. So when they click there, it comes up to this little thing right here, and it says, from Bob, hey, can you, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, submit this. All right, congratulations, it was sent properly. Now, when they respond to it this way, we can come back here and we can see in the communications that it came through. Now it came back to my phone as well, but you can see right here, this is what is recorded in the system. Hey, can you give me your password for this right here? And then they responded right here. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So everything's kind of held here in this communications right here, where basically you communicate back and forth with your client. Pretty cool, huh? And so you can also see scheduled communications in here, which are the ones that are like in your checklist that are going to be sent later. So you can see kind of what's queued up. You can see the text messages that are queued up for later. And you can see the ones that have already been sent. So this is a great way to stay in touch with your customer. And there's lots of other ways to communicate. You can communicate in line with your checklist. You can also come over here to your discussions area, your files. For instance, if you have a file that needs to be approved, you can come over here and say, wow, this one, I'm not quite sure if it's going to be acceptable or not. So you can click on requires approval, and you can say, I want my customer to approve it. So once I click save there, it sends a text and an email to your client that says, hey, we have your image ready. Most likely it's going to look like this, right? It's going to be like some kind of a banner, or maybe a logo, or whatever you're doing for them, that you're going to send it over to them, and then they can jump right in and they can say, yes, I approve it, or no, I don't, and here's some changes I want you to make. So that's another way that you can communicate with your clients there. And, of course, anything that goes out or in stays inside of this communications area. And your client has access to this communications area as well. So they can see all of the different threads in the conversations in case they want it to review it. All right. So let's see here. So, Mike, does that help you with what you wanted to learn about the communications? There's still a lot more that we don't have time to go over today because we're kind of wrapping up for the day, but is that helpful? All right. Very good. Good intro. Yeah, thanks. This is great. Yeah, I learned a few things today. Thanks, Jim. All right, Maria. Excellent. Good. I'm glad you guys like that. All right, so good. So let's go ahead and finish up today. Andy, is there anything that you wanted to cover today before we finish up?
No, I was going to go over a little bit of sales stuff and that, Chris, but I just thought, look, you're on such a roll there. Let's just keep it to, program specific, and then next week I'll do that, because it's, it's a little bit disjointed then. So I think I'll do that next week. I've got a couple of things I want to go over. So we'll do the sales marketing stuff next week, and a little bit of a catch up on a little bit more of this, and then I'll have more time to to spend on it and go over it properly.
Very good. So next week we're going to focus on sales and marketing. So stay tuned. We got some really good stuff for you that we've been working on for a couple weeks. So excellent. Thanks, Andy, and thanks everyone for being on with us today.
Thanks, guys. It's great to have you on the call every week. I hope you're getting a lot of value out of it too, because these little nuggets that when Chris going over, I know we've sort of gone over these different things a number of times, but I always find that every time you do go over it, there's a couple little nuggets and little tips and things that you pick up that you may not have seen last time or just missed, and that. So they're very helpful, I find. So I'll have this up. We'll get this uploaded and into the university too over the next day or so, and you can go back and have a look at any specific spots you want to.
All right. So again, thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Have a great week.